Welcome back, grade 10 with unit 4, words that persuade, listening and speaking. Today we are going to go to listening to. So I would like you to open your textbooks at page 86. There we are, listening to house hunting. First off, we're going to start with the vocabulary. Complete the internet survey. Notice the bold-faced words. We've got cozy, vintage, vibrant, maintenance, and compact. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to complete this survey. Go ahead. Awesome. That brings us to the matching of the bold-faced words with the definitions. You write the correct bold-faced word in front of the correct letter that it describes and defines. Pause your video to do so. Great, that brings us to the comprehension. For the comprehension, I want you to listen to an episode from the TV series Home Sweet Home. In this scene, a real estate agent gives a client a tour of a house. Now, I want you to fill in the missing information that you are hearing. Now, before you do that, you're going to scan through this and you're going to annotate on the keywords. Go ahead. Great. Let's listen. While you're listening, fill in the blanks.
So let me tell you a little about this place. It's really great. It's got 2 bedrooms and it's right in your price range. Let's go on in.
Okay.
This is the living room. It has some really great features. Look at the nice wood floors and the big windows.
It seems awfully small. Where'd my sofa go?
Yes, it's cozy, but I think you can work with it. I'd definitely put the sofa over here along this wall, and that would open up the space.
There's a lot of noise coming from the street.
Yes, it's a vibrant neighborhood. Lots of shops and restaurants, and very convenient to transportation. The subway's right down the block.
Okay.
Can we move on to the kitchen?
Sure.
Now, this kitchen has all new appliances. New stove, new dishwasher, new fridge.
I love the appliances. They're great, but it's kind of small too. Not much room to move around.
Well, it's a compact kitchen. It's very well organized.
Those cabinets are sort of old-fashioned.
Isn't that a great vintage look? That's really coming back in style.
I guess.
And out here is the backyard.
Nice, but not much of a garden. No grass or anything.
Well, it's very low maintenance. You don't have to worry about mowing the grass. Add some nice planters, some flowers. It'll look great. Ready to go upstairs and see the bedrooms?
Actually, I don't need to see any more. It's got some nice features, but it's just not going to work for me.
Okay, no problem. I've got lots of other places to show you.
Great. Here you see the difference, yeah, from how the salesperson is talking, using a lot of euphemism. If you remember, euphemism is when you make things seem nicer than they really are. You're kind of using more beautiful terms and words and explanations for it. Very different from what the client really thinks. It's opposing. But of course, a salesperson would use a lot of euphemism because it sells. It makes everything look better, more beautiful, you know. So euphemism is a way of talking that is often used in advertisement or used in selling products to make the product look better, but very different in contrast with what the client thinks. Okay, listen to an excerpt from Home Sweet Home. Is the real estate agent making strong positive statements, or is she making polite negative comments? Positive statements or polite negative comments? What word emphasizes her point?
So let me tell you a little about this place. It's really great.
Now, what is that? Is that a positive, strong positive statement, or is she making a negative comment in a polite way? And what is the word that emphasizes it? Try to write it down right now. Okay, listening for the speaker's emphasis. Emphasis is tekanan, menekankan, where you emphasize on a certain word or a certain meaning. Those are also called intensifiers. Those are adverbs used to emphasize another word. Speakers use intensifiers to make a point sound stronger. So you want to be positive, you emphasize on that. They can also use intensifiers to make a point less strong. So something that is not so good or negative, we do not emphasize on it to not make it seem as an issue. This makes a negative idea sound more polite or look better than it actually is. For example, here the real estate agent says, well, it's a compact kitchen, it's very well organized. Whereas the client says, those cabinets are sort of old-fashioned. And then she says, well, it's vintage look and it comes back into style. She's really good at covering it up or making it seem not as bad as it is, or even making it seem nice, just with the purpose to sell. Okay, you're gonna listen to the excerpts and I want you to complete the statements with the intensifier that you hear. Does the intensifier make the statement sound stronger or more polite? Stronger or more polite? Circle the correct answer. Okay, before you do that, okay, you annotate first, go over the sentences and annotate the keywords. Go ahead. And now let's listen.
This is the living room. It has some really great features.
Go to excerpt 2.
It seems awfully small.
Excerpt 3.
I'd definitely put the sofa over here along this wall, and that would open up the space.
Excerpt 4.
I love the appliances. They're great, but it's kind of small too.
Please stick your answers. Awesome. That brings us to connecting the listening. So again, we're doing the connecting of listening 1, which was about corporate euphemisms. So the euphemism that is used in businesses, in the corporate world, and listening 2 that is about house hunting. Now listenings 1 and 2 again, and then complete the chart with details about euphemism. Yes, but we're gonna listen first.
The corporate world loves euphemism. A friend of mine got a letter from his employer that said the company was having a workforce reduction because of changes in the market environment. What they really mean is that a bunch of people are going to be fired because the company is in financial trouble. So why didn't they say that directly? Well, it was an attempt to put a happy face on a bad situation. Instead of talking about people getting fired from their jobs, the company used a euphemism to make it sound better. Workforce reduction. We love to rename things to make them sound better. Who wants to be a garbage collector? Garbage has a negative connotation. Dirty, smelly garbage. So now we don't have garbage collectors anymore. No, instead we have sanitation workers. Sanitation is the removal of dirt to protect public health. That's a much better connotation, focusing on cleanliness rather than dirt. Sometimes we make ourselves look better with euphemisms. Unemployed? Out of a job? That doesn't sound good in a job interview. But don't worry, you can say you are between jobs, implying that it's only a temporary period of unemployment. Or, better yet, that you are going through a career transition. That sounds like you made a choice to be unemployed and find a better career. But in other contexts, our euphemisms change. With friends, you might say something else. Have you heard the term funemployed? That's how my friend explains his current situation. He's out of a job, but now has the time to do fun things during the work week. Funemployed. Sounds great, right? And we're always inventing new euphemisms. Why? Well, most have a short shelf life. They become less effective over time. Euphemisms are created to make an idea sound more positive, but over time, they can take on a negative connotation, just like the original word. The term downsizing is an example. In the 1980s, when we first heard the term downsizing, it was a new way to describe a company that was firing people, a company coming down in size. However, over the years, it's become just as bad, just like saying, "We're firing people." The connotation is the same now, so it's been replaced too, with new euphemisms, like workforce reduction. If I could give the corporate world one piece of advice, I'd tell them, don't overdo it with euphemisms, because with excessive use, euphemism slides into doublespeak. Doublespeak is language that goes beyond making something sound better. Doublespeak is deceptive language used to hide the truth. There's a well-known example, you can find it on the internet, of a corporate letter that uses 29 different euphemisms for firing people. 29 in one page. That's too much. People get angry at this kind of doublespeak. They want to be told the truth, not hear euphemisms that hide the truth. So listen to the euphemisms around you and learn to use them wisely. Thank you.
So let me tell you a little about this place. It's really great. It's got 2 bedrooms, and it's right in your price range. Let's go on in.
Okay.
This is the living room. It has some really great features. Look at the nice wood floors and the big windows.
It seems awfully small. Where'd my sofa go?
Yes, it's cozy, but I think you can work with it. I'd definitely put the sofa over here along this wall, and that would open up the space.
There's a lot of noise coming from the street.
Yes, it's a vibrant neighborhood. Lots of shops and restaurants, and very convenient to transportation. The subway's right down the block.
Okay.
Can we move on to the kitchen?
Sure.
Now, this kitchen has all new appliances. New stove, new dishwasher, new fridge.
I love the appliances. They're great, but it's kind of small too. Not much room to move around.
Well, it's a compact kitchen. It's very well organized.
Those cabinets are sort of old-fashioned.
Isn't that a great vintage look? That's really coming back in style.
I guess.
And out here is the backyard.
Nice, but not much of a garden. No grass or anything.
Well, it's very low maintenance. You don't have to worry about mowing the grass. Add some nice planters, some flowers. It'll look great. Ready to go upstairs and see the bedrooms?
Actually, I don't need to see any more. It's got some nice features, but it's just not going to work for me.
Okay, no problem. I've got lots of other places to show you.
Okay, so that was listening 1 and listening 2. What I want you to do right now is complete the chart with the details about the euphemisms of both listening sections. You can pause your video to do that. Go ahead. Okay, after having filled out the table, we're coming to step 2, which is synthesizing. As you already know, we're going to connect the information from listening 1 to the information in listening 2, and from there create something new. So in this part, you're supposed to, in a group, as each person individually speaks from a different point of view, work together. Like you have a corporate leader, an employee, a real estate agent, and a home buyer. And then you were supposed to take turns completing each statement and give an example from step 1. The information from listening 1 and 2. For instance, I think that euphemisms hurt people or make people feel better, for example, and then you would have to support to each other. Or B, I think that euphemisms are necessary or used too much in businesses. Or C, I think that euphemisms are deceptive and make negative ideas sound more positive. Now, since we cannot do that when you cannot do that by yourself at home right now, we will do this during our Zoom meeting. Therefore, it is very important that you have gone through this and listened to the listening sections. So while we are getting back during our Zoom meeting, we can do this together. Okay? Awesome beans. That brings us to the end of our lesson today. Let me review with you what it was that we did today. Yeah, we started out with our vocabulary, listening to house hunting, completing the internet survey, and matching the vocabulary words with the correct definition. Then we listened for comprehension, understanding what the client or hearing what the client was saying, and understanding the difference between the euphemism and the reality of the things, and how sometimes euphemism can make negative things seem very nice, or the other way around. And then we went over the listening skill, listening for speaker's emphasis, hearing the emphasis in 4 excerpts, and then we connected listening 1 to listening 2. Okay, that's the end of our listening session today. You did a great job, and please be ready for a Zoom meeting where we will discuss this. I see you soon. God bless you.